Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of SolitaryCraft. I know I said in the description of the last video we were going to take a look at the industrial apiary today. From what I understand, there's a conflict with random things or something like that. There's actually a mod pack update available right now, so I'm going to wait on that. Maybe it gets fixed in the update. I've noticed a lot of wonky things with liquids. Hopefully those get fixed as well. What I want to do today is I want to set up the mass fabricator and stuff because I really want solar panels. You know, I really like solar panels. They're a pain to get. Even making the things we're going to need today, we need the pattern storage, the scanner, the replicator, the mass fab, and I only made one recycler. We may or may not really need it, but I figure we'll go ahead and make one. We may make more in the future. I don't know. I had to make a bunch of mining lasers, so I made an extra one, though I can't charge it because I don't have a CESU or MFE. I'm not sure which one it goes in, but I haven't made either one of those. I did have to make the thermal centrifuge, and it's really slow. The other thing we're going to have to make, I forget the name of it. I think it's a molecular something. Molecular transformer. These things are pretty easy. The thing in the middle, it just takes a lot of crafting is all. It's kind of a pain. So we're going to have to do that later because we have to make the scenarium with this now. I don't think it uses UU matter. All we're going to need UU for is the actual iridium, which we have a few of. We may actually be able to make one solar panel now. I didn't realize we had so many of those. So these four things right here are easy. The advanced solar panel, pretty easy with the exception of this thing. We need scenarium for that, which we get from that molecular transformer. And we're going to need one iridium ingot for that. Not that big of a deal. Yeah, we just put glowstone in the molecular transformer. These things, we need iridium reinforced plates and scenarium, which I believe we could either do one glowstone in there with 9 million EU, or we can make the little pieces, but it's the same amount of energy, so we might as well just use the glowstone block. So it's going to be a little while before we can make an ultimate hybrid solar panel, but I want to get going on that. Let me just show you the recipes for these things real quick. The recycler is easy. R, when I hit R, it shifted my inventory. Recycler is easy, just a compressor and some other stuff. The mass fabricator, relatively easy as well. I did have to macerate some lapis because you cannot pulverize that. And I did have some rubies that we got from the laser drill, so that was a good thing that we made. The replicator, big pain. An MFE to HV transformers. Teleporters, the recipe for glass fiber cable is different now. Silver dust is easy. This stuff, you have to macerate diamonds, so that's kind of a pain. The scanner, relatively easy, not a big deal. Those are all regular, like tier 1 parts, I guess you could say. And illuminator's really easy. And then pattern storage was kind of a pain. I had to get out the alloy smelter and smelt that thing. So it was a lot of work off like between episodes. So let's set all this up. We'll see if we can make it work. I've only set this up once, and it was in It was in a test world, so hopefully I don't mess anything up. I also, before I get to this, I've had a problem with some of these machines. And I know Industrial Craft is experimental right now, but basically every time I start my world, I don't know if it's a problem with this chunk or what, but I have to pick up and replace the machines. I had to do it with the macerator and both of the metal formers today, which, by the way, I've made a couple little patterns for things we're going to need. I also had to do it with the bat box. And that's a huge pain to have to do every time you restart your world. So I figure what we can do is we'll just put these machines, we'll put our cable in the wall right here, and we'll put the machines, let's see, we're going to need the mass fabricator we'll put here. That makes liquid UU. Then we're going to need the scanner, and then pattern storage, and then the replicator. These machines, I believe they can be in any order as long as they're touching. I think you can flip-flop the replicator with the scanner. I don't think that really matters. We're going to put a fluid duct right here. I think I actually needed the replicator over here because you have to pump UU into it to get anything out. So actually, I guess we could just we can just run the fluid duct behind it. I'll probably have to make more. And then we'll put the glass fiber cable in the floor. Just because, for me, the way the workflow should go is from left to right. So first we scan, and then the pattern gets stored, and then we replicate. So that's just for me. So we'll throw our fiber cable, if I can place it where it needs to go, under here. And the recycler can really go anywhere as well. I guess we'll just put it right next to that guy. And we're going to need to get back there. And then we have a few cables. And I said in a comment to somebody, I've read conflicting information about packets versus total EU. And I actually hooked up a CESU, which is 128 out, straight into a regular macerator, and it didn't blow up like it was supposed to. So I'm not really sure if they haven't implemented it yet or what. But it should have blown up and it didn't. So it may just be one of those things that they haven't gotten around to, or they're waiting on for some reason. So we'll just use geothermals here if I can stay where I need to be. And we'll just pop them in the floor. And then we're not going to have, we might have just enough liquid duct actually. The really funny thing will be if I hook it up and it explodes. I'm going to laugh. And then I'm going to end the episode and then I'll just redo it. Alright. So our mass fab has power, I think. It's lit up. Everything's lit up. The recycler needs something in it. So let's grab all our buses and some cable. Hopefully it's enough cable. And we're going to need cobble also. We have a little bit of it. Assuming I can still recycle cobble. At one point, Greg Tech changed it so you couldn't. We don't have Greg Tech, but since he's involved in industrial craft now, there's really no telling what changes he's made. So, we don't need that there. We will put cobblestone here. It looks like it is working, which is good. Put an import bus on the back so we get all our scrap that we have created back into the system. And we actually have a piece already. And then we will wait, that's an import bus, isn't it? We're going to need an export bus for scrap into that thing. We could do it with a with one of the thermal expansion item ducts, but since we have AE right here, not a huge issue. And hopefully my molecular assembler chamber didn't crap out again. It always crafts right about the time I go look at the crafting monitor. I guess I'm impatient. So we'll put UU there, or scrap rather. This is going to take a while. Long while. And since we don't have any significant form of power, really not a lot we can do about that except wait. It's always slow going in the beginning with all the industrial craft stuff. I don't know if I have my test world in this pack or if it's in the other one. Let me get a servo. We can go ahead and set up the thing to output all of our UU matter into the the replicator. Now this thing says waiting because it doesn't have anything to do. Once we scan, we may be able to go ahead and scan some iridium. Let's see if it'll let us do that. It'll probably take a while. When I hooked it up in testing, I threw down a bunch of ultimate hybrid solar panels to power everything. So everything worked a lot more quickly than it will here. But, you know, once we get some UU matter, liquid UU, I still call it matter. Once we get some, then it's just a matter of replicating it. And let me make sure that actually has power hooked up to it. It does. It may not be getting any because the other machines are taking the power first. And since these machines are basically power sinks, at least the mass fabricator is, this might not get any power for a while. See, it's barely filling up. So let me see if I still have this set up in a test world, and I'll show you guys how it'll actually work once it all has power. Let's set this thing up first. So once we actually have liquid UU in here, it'll flow. I'm not sure how much UU we actually get. I don't know if we get a bucket or what. So give me just a second and I'll show you what this looks like when we have full power. This will work. It'll just take a while. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. Actually, I guess I did it in a different pack. I just reset all this up. I just threw down a bunch of ultimate hybrids just for the hell of it, just for demonstration purposes. And it looks like every cycle you get one bucket of UU matter. So the way I did this, I put the mass fabricator right here. We're generating enough power that we don't need the recycler. That just amplifies it. And then I put these in reverse order. So I put the scanner, then the pattern storage, and then the replicator, just so I could just pipe this one block. So if we scan iridium, apparently it still takes a while, even if you have a ton of power. So we'll wait on this a minute. Once we scan it, once it finishes, it'll then show up as a pattern in here. And then we'll be able to see it in the replicator. And you can make one or you can make many, depending on what you need to do. So we can pump this right in here. We'll see the UU matter filling up. And I'll be back when this thing has finished scanning, and then we'll replicate it. Okay, we're just about done here. Hopefully this doesn't make a liar out of me. Waiting, no storage. All right, so now we have iridium in the pattern storage. If we come over here, we scroll over to next pattern. We see iridium right here. It tells you how much UU we need and how much EU it's going to take. So we'll do a repeat run, and it's going to take a while. And once this counts up to 100, then we'll have one piece of iridium. So you can see how long this takes when you have a lot of power. So just imagine how long it's going to take when you don't have enough power. So that setup I did was just temporary to get going. I'll just let it run until we have enough. And then once we've got one or two of these, I'll reroute everything so that we have a better, it's a better power source. You really have to work for it this time, though, which I don't have a problem with. It's just who needs Greg Tech when you have to jump through all these hoops, you know? So we'll get there eventually. In retrospect, I should have started this first so that I could have been replicating iridium this whole time. That would have been a lot better. So we'll just go ahead and wait until this finishes, just to prove that it works. And then I will end the episode. So we got all the EU. Apparently we're waiting on enough UU matter. So this will take a little while. What we can do is we can speed up the process a little bit for demonstration purposes. We'll just put a creative tank on top of there. And we'll put, don't know if we can put a cell in that. We can. So now we're pumping UU in, probably faster than the machine can use it. Once this gets up to 100%, we should have an iridium ore. So I'm not going to wait around for that. That's the basic process. If you guys have any questions, comments, or if I overlook something, please feel free to leave me a comment. I'm going to end it here and let this stuff run in the other world, and hopefully we'll have something that we can do something with in a relatively reasonable amount of time. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.